Good evening, everyone. So today I was talking about imbalance and gaps, imbalances and gaps. So also known as candlestick windows. Imbalances and gap, also known as candlestick windows. The Japanese majorly call it the candlestick windows. Mr. Kunle, Mr. Kunle,
Yes, sir.
please, are you trying to call me just now?
Oh, was it you I called? Oh, sorry. I wanted to call what's his name now?
Mr. Toyin.
I wanted to call Mr. Tonyo. Can you
Yes.
imagine?
I've spoken with Mr. Toyin. Don't mind. Mr. Toyin said he's having network issues. But I already told him that it has to be recorded and the video will be sent to him.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So we're talking about imbalances and gaps. So you must have noticed something in the market. I'm sure you must have noticed it. Sometimes you just be trading, you just notice that there are gaps in the market. Have you noticed it? Like you just be trading one day, you just notice, okay, what is going on here? There's gap here.
What's
Yes.
the definition of gap?
Now this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Have you come across this thing before? Look at
Yeah,
this
you don't
large
see
space.
those things. Not look like hey, those kind of gaps. Yeah, yes. Okay,
Mr.
but
Toyin,
there was one day.
welcome.
Is he in now?
Yes.
Okay, is he now? I just sent him a message now. All right. Okay,
So, yes.
there was a day I got to know, maybe not actually, but I got to know what caused it because I traded into the following day. So there was a trade I had that was on before 11 p.m. 11 p.m. is 1 p.m., 1 hour behind the closing. The market closed by 12. So we are on +1. All right. So like around 11 p.m. the market closed. So waiting for it to open again. And I think it opened like around 12 when it was around 12:05 or so. And when the market came on, then I decided it was Avasad. It wasn't something the closure of the market and the reopening.
Yes, that is it. You said it. You said it all.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
these things are called imbalances and gaps, and the Japanese they call it candlestick windows. So, like you said, these gaps happen when the new candle that is either lower than the previous and the close of the last day candle, or higher than the close of the previous day candle. Do you understand? Now, this 4 hour time frame. So, like for example, now when this market was opening here, it was higher than the close of the previous day candle. And when the market was opening here, it was higher than the close of this day candle. Do you understand? So that's what causes it. So now, they are called imbalances and gaps. And the thing about imbalances and gaps is there are some traders that actually look for only windows. They like trading windows. So it's kind of weird, but they have their reasons for trading windows, and I'll explain them to you just now. Anytime you see this, that's why as a day trader, you always try to close your trade in a day. Don't leave it to the next day because this can happen. This imbalance can happen. The market can trade way above the close of the previous day or way below the close of the previous day, and to cause gaps like this. And you notice when there's gap like this is how many pips. It's on stop loss. That's why as day traders, we close their markets that day. We always try to as much as possible to close it that day. That's why it's always good to have good stop loss. And don't try to be too greedy, just close it and leave the market. So now, anytime there's an imbalance or gaps like this in the market, in the long run, the market must surely come back to filling those gaps. Do you understand? It will surely come back to filling those gaps. But before the market fill in those gaps, these gaps here will act as minor support and resistance. Yes, it will act as minor support and resistance. Now look at this place. Now, look at this gap here. Look at the first candle of that day, right? Now look at the week. Look at for look at the date, 11th of 13th of December till 18th of December. That place acted as support. The market didn't go below it, right? So that place could be minor support or minor resistance. So anytime there's an imbalance of gaps, it can be used as minor resistance or minor support. Look at the market didn't go below it. It didn't close. It had that support here. Look at for this day too. Look at for this day too. Look at the highest, the wick of this candle. Look at that. Look at where this candle opened. The highest part of the candle. Look at for this day. It's formed what support, and the market didn't. Look at it. Let me draw a line here.
Interesting.
Can you see it?
Interesting. So very well. So every time the market gets there, it buys. It
It
just
buys. Yes.
buys, and
It
then it
buys.
comes down.
It buys.
And
Look at
funny enough,
it.
it didn't break that. Wow.
It didn't.
It did not break it at all.
Yes.
Wow.
So this thing
So that's a strong support. Then it's not
just a
then it's
minor
not.
one.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And it
Sometimes.
went this number of days without breaking.
How do you say?
And it went the number of days without breaking. That's about
Yes.
5 days.
Yes. Even
Just
not. It's more than days or months without breaking.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just looking at it like
Months.
wow.
So sometimes people call this thing. They call it industrial manipulation. Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they call it industrial manipulation, but what it simply is just too much order that didn't close for the day that was open for the next day because of the banks. The banks have too much orders. Do you understand? So they might want to make 100 million of orders, and for that day, they want to people selling a few. So what will just happen? They'll just create a gap, fill in all this order, and the market will forcefully pull down, and people stop so that it do not buy the market once. That's why they call it industrial manipulation. That's why a safe trader doesn't leave his trades the next day because this thing can happen. But anytime it happens, it is as as resistance or support. In this case, now look at it acting as a strong support, and the market hasn't broken it since then. You understand? So that is it about imbalances and gaps. So that's why there's some traders in Japan that they like anytime you see imbalance and gaps, they are always happy because when they see, they know that this is a support and resistance for the short time period. But don't mind, just remember what I said. I call it a minor support or a minor resistance because anytime there's an imbalance or gap, the market must surely come back to fill in this gap, right? The market must come in to fill in the gap. But sometimes, but before it fills it is what we don't know. It might take days, it might take weeks, it might take a month. But the market must surely come back to fill in those gaps. But just know that for that time being, it is acting as a minor support or minor resistance. And look at it here. The market didn't break it. Market didn't break it. Market kept on obeying it and went on obeying it. So this is for JPP USD. Let me look for another pair with gaps. Let me check JPP JPY. USD JPY. Wow. Now look at this here. There was a gap here. Look at. There was a gap here. But now, before you can actually call a look at, let me paint a scenario for you. Now, if the candle is like this, you understand? It looks like there's a gap here, but if the wick, look at if the wick, if the wick is if the this wick is in between the wick of the next day, it's not called a gap. Do you understand? Because the body might be far from each other, but the wick might be in between each other. So anytime the wick is in between, it's not called a gap. If it will be a gap, the wick won't be.
So that means the wick actually covered up for the gap. So that means
Yes.
there's no gap.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
the trade actually went up to cover up for it immediately. So there was no gap.
There was no gap. Yes.
Okay.
If there will be a gap, the body will be as
The wick will not touch each other at all. There will be space
at
in
all.
between.
I thought it would
And
be like this.
tip of the wick. Okay.
You notice there's a gap here. The wick will be touching, the body will be far from each other. So that is how you spot a gap. And anytime you spot a gap, it can be used as minor resistance or minor support. And I always tell you, this market is all about zones. Forex market is not that hard. The moment, see, that's why it takes time to practice. Just like a musician learning how to play piano. Do you understand? So at first, if you learn some do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do on different pitch, you're very excited. But it takes years to manipulate and understand how it works. You understand? That's why my people, I'm assuring you, please, once you practice this thing and practice it, right now it might not look like it, but like I can assure you, the moment you understand the psychology behind it, that's why if you always read books, they'll tell you it's more, they'll tell you Forex is 70% psychology. Um, some even say it is 90% psychology, 10% technical know-how, or 5% technical know-how, or 5% fundamentals. But we both know that fundamentals is key here. And the reason why they're calling it psychology is because your psychology is key. You understand? You need to understand your market. Because one thing I learned so far trading the market is never over leverage your position. Don't over leverage your position. If you do, just know that you're about to lose or you're about to take little profits. So anytime you're making small profit, you've made your profit, just leave the market. Just leave it. For example, now look at this place now. Here's the JPY. Look, I already marked this gap. I already marked it. Look at it. This gap here. This was a gap. So the new candle was lower than the previous close, than the close of the previous day candle. So what happened there? It formed as a resistance or support. So the market came here. Normally the market came and it's fine. The market broke it, and the market hasn't broken it ever since. Look at the market hasn't broken it ever since. The market came here, touched it, and what happened is use it as a spring to keep up. That is this popular. And finally, to finally go up again. So now, like I told you, the market will surely to break it, surely come to. So for the time being, just that place, you can just use it in alliance with the market and gaps alone. You have to use it in alliance with the market structure. Do you understand? Use it in alliance with the market structure. Everything needs to align. You can't just use them in isolation. You need to use them together. You need to use them together. So as you're using them together, the more reasons why you will be in profit. More reasons why you'll be in profit.
So what does it mean to over leverage a position?
Now you over leverage a position whereby you've already set take profit one. Do you understand? You know okay. You know that okay, the market is coming down, but when it gets, you know that as market is coming down, there's a particular place that will be a minor support. Assuming now, look at this place now. Assuming you bust the market, here. So the market got here. You know, okay, this particular place here is marked, is known as is a look at is a resistance and a support. But because you've seen so many reasons why the market will buy.
You have touched the EMA already.
Yes. So you're over leveraging a position. So instead of you to just take your profit and leave. Do you understand? Some people will leave it. And leaving it actually is the smartest thing because you actually go up. But based on your stop loss and based on the size of your capital, you can't risk 200 pips stop loss. Nah, you can't risk it. So that's why you just take your profit and leave and wait for another good entry here. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Wait for it again to retrace. After that retracement, you enter it again. Do you understand? That's what it means to over leverage. Over leveraging is leaving it. What about if the thing just gets here and the thing just decides that okay, it's going to make a full reversal? At that point, someone will lose all the profit that he has made, or he might just out of fear lose it in little profits.
This pullback is so huge. This
What do you say?
pullback is the pullback is so huge.
Yes.
Okay, so the best thing is to just take the profit from this EMA.
Yes, from this
Or
EMA.
even on this trend line, this particular trend line.
Yes.
Take profit one, take profit two should be on your EMA.
Wow.
This blue trend line is your take profit one. The red EMA is already saying that's take profit two. That's okay. Move out. That's it. Because this pullback is huge.
Yes.
It's enormous. It's too huge for one to. I get what you mean now.
So if you draw Fibonacci from this swing high to this swing low, you notice that place is 61.8. Do you understand?
61. Wow.
You respected that
Wow.
61.8. I told you Fibonacci doesn't lie. It always respects Fibonacci.
Mm.
But the thing is, now this is 4-hour candle. If you open it on 1-hour time frame, this pullback is huge.
It's huge. That is what I'm looking at. It. You know, it's so close to the entire length.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
thank you.
61% already. It's so close.
Very,
It's
very close. So that's why I'm saying that. That's why my friends, my people, and my bros, this market, the moment you understand the psychology behind it, and that is the work. That is just simply the work. Look at this place here. Look at this gap here. This end of this previous can look at. That's where it retraces to. When you see this kind of retracement, you know that okay, he's respecting this place, this particular support.
That's true. Yeah,
That's
this
where it
particular
retraces.
support. So it became the resistance here. There's a
Yes,
support. I
and it
see.
started buying.
And so which one should we pick? Is it the opening of the new day should we pick as the support, or we come to the closing of the previous day? Which
You
one should we
mark the
pick?
two. You mark this zone here. You
Okay.
mark the
Okay.
low of the
Mhm.
closing the previous day candle. You understand?
The low, not the closing of the last candle.
Yes, the support of the previous day candle. This the under here. You mark it,
Okay.
and you
Yeah.
mark the
Okay.
top of the new day candle. That is the first candle.
Okay.
You mark this
Okay.
place and this place. Now,
Okay.
the market can come here and use this particular support, or you can come here and use this resistance as support. Do you understand? Or you might just use it as resistance. Do you understand? That's how you mark the two one and see the one the market choose to respect. Do you understand?
Very well.
So
Perfect.
that's how imbalances and gaps work. So that is it for imbalances and gaps. So as I'm saying, please, this thing takes time, but don't worry. When we talk about confluence and orders of setup, everything will come together because the next topic I'll be talking about is orders of setup. That is the things you look at before entering the market. You understand? It's called orders of event. That is orders of event, what to look at when finding a setup. Don't worry. When I talk about that, everything will be very, very, that's a very, very interesting topic because when we talk about orders of setup, the things you should look at before entering a trade, I think will be more profitable that way. So please, you guys should not worry, please. Don't be worried. Just have faith. This thing is very, very interesting. The moment you master the psychology, everything works. Do you understand? It's all about mastering your psychology. You understand? It's all about mastering your psychology because sometimes you over leverage a position, and these are things you can't be taught. You need to gain them through experience. All these things can be taught. Imbalances and gaps can be taught. Trend lines can be taught. 200 EMA can be taught. RSI can be taught. Horizontal support and resistance can be taught. But all those take profits thing or all those over leveraging a position, those things can be taught. Though. They need to gain them through experience. And the moment you gain them through experience, you will be profitable. Do you understand, my people?
Very well. Very well.
So yes, so that is it for today. I'll send the video so we can watch it then. So
Thank you.
thank you very much. Look at this place too. Look at this place. There was a gap here. Look at there was a particular gap here. Look at there's a gap here. And look at the under of the gap here is respected the under of the close of the previous day. That is the support. That support became resistance and support. The market didn't break. The moment the market broke here, what happened? It came to retest it. Even it was even close to the 200 EMA. It broke it, came, retested it, and kept on going up till it finally came to fill it. Do you understand? So you can also consider gaps as when finding setups to enter a trade. Look at it. It was confluencing with its 100 EMA. Sweet entry. So people, please let's watch these videos over and over again. So the next topic, I'll be talking about orders of events, things to look at when before taking a trade, what you should look at before entering the market, things you should consider. So don't worry, my people. We're going to master this thing because this thing is more than a training. It's more than teaching you this. Because after this theoretical aspect, we are entering the practical aspect whereby we'll crash an account, a demo account with $200, and we'll have to grow it from there to 1K. Trust me, if you can grow a 200 demo account to $1,000 5 times, you can. Don't worry, you are good to go. Don't worry, my people will master this.
Okay, let me ask, why are we not holding class on Monday?
Eh?
Why do you have to wait till Wednesday? Why are we not holding classes on Monday? What
Please,
do we have to
these
wait
are
till
periods
Wednesday?
whereby me, I can have time to also learn and do some other
Your
things.
own way. Oh, so, yeah,
John,
because I'm just thinking now the next class is now next week, and
I
so
understand. I understand. Please.
next week that far.
All right. The next class is on Sunday. It's tomorrow. So we'll talk
Oh,
about others of
okay. Oh,
events.
today is Friday. Yeah, that's true. How
Yes.
am I thinking today is Sunday? Okay, it's Friday.
Okay.
Okay. So
Good night,
Sunday,
everyone.
we'll meet again on Sunday. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you too.
Good night, Mr. Twin.
Mr. Tony and Mr. Kuni, have a wonderful night. Good night.